guys, and welcome back to my channel. So a while ago I did a video on my morning pages and my writing traveler's notebook, and I wanted to just come back and do an update because I've actually gone through 6 weeks now of doing morning pages. So whoops, where's my front page here? So I've actually done 6 weeks of morning pages so far. I started on July 1st and I skipped a week when I was in the United States, and so I just extended it another week. So you'll see here I originally was going to finish on the 12th of August and I ended up going through the 19th. However, I'm not done doing my morning pages. And while I wanted to continue them just in general, one of the biggest reasons that I am still doing them is because I started working through this book. So if you guys remember, the morning pages is something that Julia Cameron first introduced in her book, The Artist's Way. I am still waiting to read that book. I have been on hold on overdrive for like months now, and I'm still waiting. But in the meantime, I was gifted this book by one of my best friends, and so I decided that I would just go ahead and start here and work through this book. So Walking in This World is a course basically in creativity. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to go through the entire book, but I will show you kind of the contents. So what it has is it's separated in weeks. So you have week 1 through week 12. So each week you have a general theme, you have some information, and then you have an accompanying task. And one of the other things that she mentions, so in addition to doing the tasks each week, she also has the basic tools. So she talks about doing the morning pages. She talks about doing the artist's date and here, the weekly walks. So in addition to the tasks in the course, you also have 3 things that she recommends that you do each week while you are doing the actual coursework that's in the book. So I thought I would go ahead and show you how I set up a way for tracking my progress through the book in my health bullet journal. So I decided to put it in my health bullet journal because I figured that this was related to sort of my mental health, and so it made sense to me to put it in here. So what I did is I made, here, let's move my bookmark. So what I did is I made a really simple spread. So I just did the title of the book and the author here, and then I made myself a grid. So I have the week, so there are 12 weeks in the book, and I put in the week number, so related to the calendar year. So we are currently in week 34, that's the second to last week in August. And so I was able to do, so if for some reason I have to skip a week, I can just write in when I eventually get to it on here. Then I also gave myself a section for morning pages, and I just do a tick mark, so whether or not I did morning pages every day, and I actually did do morning pages 7 days last week. Oh, I just forgot to update that, oops. So every day that I do morning pages, I do a tick mark here. When I go on my artist's date or my weekly walk, I write in the date here. And you'll notice that these have been both on the same day. I personally have found that I tend to combine them. I only mark the first time I do it during the week, but I have been going on more walks than just the one time. And my artist's date, this is one where I'm kind of having issues figuring out what counts as an artist's date. So I'm kind of playing it by ear on that, but I do have a section on here to write in all of the 3 basic tools that she recommends you do while you're working through the course. Then I also have this section where I went through the contents and I took the label of the week, so week 1, the name of the chapter, and then each task and the name of the task. So you'll see here that as I go through each week, I just check off the task next to it. And then at the end of each week, there's actually a weekly check-in. So let me see. Right here. So you have a weekly check-in at the end of the week that she just has you kind of see how you're going, see how you're doing and what things came up, that sort of thing. So when I check off here, that means that I've done the weekly check-in. I went through and I did this for all of the chapters, and then I had some space down at the bottom, so I just did a little bit of lettering there just to kind of fill it. And what I've been doing is each day, or actually the night before that I want to do a task, I try and read the section in the book up until where the task is. And then if it's a written task, I actually have been doing it in my morning pages so that I have everything all together. And so however much space the task takes up, I fill in whatever is left with just general morning pages. And I know that some people might say, oh, well, you should do it in a different journal, da da da. I know, but honestly, I wanted to have it all together, and I have some days where I just don't feel like writing as much, but I want to do my pages, and so it helps me to have sort of a guided session for morning pages. And you'll notice that there aren't tasks for every single day, so the majority of the week I am doing just standard morning pages, and I do my 3 pages in the morning when I wake up, but I like doing the tasks in my morning pages, basically. So that is basically what I've been doing. I know that I will probably need another notebook at some point because I'm up to here, so slightly over halfway through. I'm up to here and I'm only up to week 3 in the coursework. So this is definitely going to be something that takes me a while, but that's why I wanted to have an overall spread so that for some reason I need to kind of leave and then come back to it later. I have that information right here. This is also one of those things that I want to, I have certain books that I read and then I pass them off to friends or whatever. This is actually a book that I want to read and then hold on to because I think that it would be really beneficial for me to go back through and do the course again in a couple of years and kind of see where I am at that point. So while I have this spread for this particular time, there's nothing to say that I won't make another spread again in the future and go back through everything. So it'll be nice to have a template for that if I ever do that. And it's nice for me to see the progress as I'm going. This is, such a long-term project that it can feel very daunting if you feel like you're working at it, but it's just not going anywhere. So it's nice to have little benchmarks that I can check off and see that I'm actually making progress on this. And honestly, I feel like it has really been helping. I've been doing a lot more in terms of like the creative side of my life and trying to get things organized. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I am taking this time to sit down and think through some of these things. So we'll see. I hope that as I go through it, I'll have even more inspiration and even more insight into myself as like a creative person, if you will. But yeah, I just wanted to come back and give you guys a quick update as to how morning pages were going and to give you an update as to what I'm kind of doing in addition to morning pages. If you guys have worked through this book, let me know what you thought of it. If you have any like tips or tricks, I know I don't necessarily always do things exactly the way that you're supposed to do, but that's part of being creative. You have to kind of take it and form it into something that's actually going to work for you. So I'd love to hear any of your tips or tricks and comments, any questions you might have. So if you want to pause the video, you can write down the name of the book so that you can check it out from your library or go buy it at a bookstore if you are interested in looking at it. I'm not being sponsored for this video at all. This is just something I'm doing on my own and I happen to have a copy of the book. So, but yeah, that's all I have for you guys today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.